Hey guys, it's Dean from Novelist Dean. I would like to say thank you so much, Justin, from the Ghost Reader. He's like the very first person I go to for like any nonfiction recommendation. So I would like to really say thank you. He has a series going on. Well, he just recently wrapped it up like yesterday for Black History Month. But yeah, he's like my go-to person, like my top person for nonfiction recommendations. Before then, I would always read like psychology books, well, or at least continue to like add psychology books to my TBR. But it's like now, like he kind of takes me out of my comfort zone. It's like, I'm gonna check this out, and that one, and that one. So yeah, go check him out. Now then, I'm kind of pissed at myself because I didn't do any like weekly updates for any like other reads that I did. Otherwise, then this video would have been much shorter. So I'm gonna try to make this as quick as possible. I don't know how, since I read so many books. And I think the reason why I didn't do weekly reads is because I didn't expect to read a whole bunch of books this month, to be honest. But like January and like this month, wow, it's such a, like, I never read so many books in just one month. So I think I should get on the whole weekly update thing, because it would make my my part a whole lot easier, because then it's like, okay, you guys can just go read, like go watch my weekly updates, so that way y'all know what I read, as well as current reads, because I have a lot of current reads I want to mention, but it's like, come on, I don't want this video to be as long as possible. So I don't want this to be so damn long. So let's go down the list. Two of them I briefly mentioned in another video, and it was for a cancel-a-thon, and that was Macbeth and So You've Been Publicly Shamed. Macbeth, I believe I gave like 3 stars because I have the Shakespeare screenplay, and I'm currently reading another book that's like a retelling of it. So I might reread it for next month, so I can like continue reading, the book that I'm reading. It's a brand new book. And for the So You've Been Publicly Shamed, I like it. I like the banter. The author's banter in it. It's so casual and funny, and I find it. There were some bits that was funny, some things that made me reconsider, things about social media and stuff. So let's continue on, because I got a lot of stuff to go through. Let's start with some of the comic books I read. So for volumes, I read volumes 3 through 5 of the Wicked and Divine series. I don't know if I can't really spoil anything because I'm so deep into the series already, but shit happens, and I was like, like all the damn time. And it's like so crazy about some of the plot twists. And it's like, I'm so confused about certain things, but I feel like as I read on, I'll probably continue on with the other stuff. I have volume 6 in my room. But I returned all the other volumes because I don't want to keep so many damn books in my damn house. Anyways, I liked it. I think I gave most of them like 3 or 4 stars. So that's pretty damn good. I can't wait to see more stuff, but like something evil came back and now they got to fight that thing. So it's a new arc within the story franchise. Another, actually probably the only other, graphic novel that I read was Black Panther, the 8th book. Again, this is one where it's like very deep into like the series. And of course, like here's the thing, when it comes to like the Black Panther series by Tinashe Coates, there's like different story arcs. And sometimes, and of course they all kind of relate to each other because it's like leads on to like the next story arc. So I can't wait for the next volume, because this is like one of my anticipated reads, and I'm happy about it. Like, I'm glad that there was a reunion, which was pretty obvious from like the front cover. Like, my baby Storm is back, looking badass as always. So it's good to see her on, not on screen, but in the comic books, because on screen they be fucking up Storm so damn much, like trying to replace her with someone biracial all the damn time. But that's a topic for another time, about how Black women get constantly, especially darker skinned Black women, get constantly replaced. So that's a discussion for another time. Okay. The next one that isn't, well, these are like most of the books. So let's start with the 3rd book of the Percy Jackson series. Like, you guys, I'm telling you guys, I am loving the Percy Jackson series. Like, wow. Who knew? Who knew that I would start to like really love this damn series? So of course this time around, we get more about Zeus's daughter, and like I was saying, like the tragedy, the trauma that these kids go through, like the death that these kids go through. I'm not gonna spoil it because someone dies. Like, it's just so approachable, especially at that age. It's like, wow. And then like when Zeus, oh my god, was it Zara? I don't know, Zeus's daughter, she is traumatized because her, mom died through a drunk driving accident. It's like, wow, you guys go there. And I love it. So I'm clearly going to continue reading on with the series. I'll probably do one every month, but sometimes I just want to binge everything because I want to get to his other series, or any, like at this point I want to read anything Rick Riordan, including the Prevention. So that's it for that. So I think I gave that 4 stars. The next one that I read was Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. Yes. And that's the 2nd book. I did a whole entire spoilery part that's like 22 minutes long, so you guys can like go watch that, because I asked some very important questions. Okay, so if you guys are Harry Potter fans, I highly suggest that you like I don't know, answer my questions, because like I don't know, there's just certain things that kind of rub me off the wrong way when it comes to like the Harry Potter world. So hopefully as I continue reading, because I'm reading the Harry Potter series with like HP versions, which reminds me, I need to check when they announce their live stream. If I manage to post this before the live stream, then I'll have to like go back and like comment down below like, hey, I updated the description bar and everything. So there's that for the live stream. The HP version thing. But I liked it. But again, I do have a lot of valid questions about, you know, certain characters. It was quite creepy when it came for those goddamn spiders. Like I did a whole entire rant, so I'll link it down below. So let's see. So I recently read The Cheerleaders by Kiara Thomas. You guys. So I got introduced to Kiara Thomas by, oh my goodness, Joshua. No, I will leave like that link down below. But this other YouTuber who, for some odd reason, I forgot the name of. It starts with a J, and it's not Justin. But he did a response video to Elliot Brooks, who's another booktuber, and it's about YA. And he you know, indirectly made some suggestions to like prove his points about why we need mature subjects in YA. And I liked how he was bringing those topics in like certain YA books up, because now I want to read them. And he mentioned The Cheerleaders, and it's definitely a dark story. You have this girl who whose sister died by suicide, and you have two other people from the same cheerleading squad who ended up dying in a car crash, and two of them were murdered. And there's something going on with these deaths because it all happened around the same damn time. So obviously the sister's like, there must be something going on here. I need to go investigate. And she makes a new friend with this girl named Greenie. Now Greenie or Ginny? No, Ginny. I'm telling you guys, Ginny is that bitch. Like, I feel like if Ginny was around, I feel like I already said this in like my little review, but I'm now a Kiara Thompson fan. I want to get into Thomas fan. I really want to get into like her other books because it seems like they're just as dark. And the thing is, I realized that maybe this is why I feel like I should have read her earlier on, because I don't know, back then I wasn't that into YA because of how childish it seemed. It's almost as if YA, like at least maybe the stuff that I was reading, because clearly I think this The Cheerleaders and, you know, some of her other books by the same author was around the time that around, you know, high school age for me. So I probably was reading the wrong YA stuff, because I should have been reading stuff like this and other, you know, dark YA, because I felt like at that age, during high school and stuff, that the YA genre was kind of, I say, playing dumb. I don't know how to explain it, but it feels like the YA genre was really playing dumb and was insulting some of my intelligence or something. It's like, why is it so damn cookie cutter? And it's like, it was so weird because some of the books that I was reading, it's like, it didn't know what it wanted to be. It's like, at some points it was like so damn childish, but then next thing you know, you come out of the woodworks with something very mature, and it's like, are you like a YA, like are you middle grade or are you like a new adult? That's the vibe that most of the YA stuff gave me, which is why I probably stopped reading around that time, because I didn't know much about like the new adult genre and all that other stuff. But this is going on much longer, so I'm going to continue talking. But yeah, I feel like there's so many conversations about this, and I'm glad that there's a conversation about new adult, because, or like even not even about new adult, but why maybe you shouldn't take YA for granted and stuff. So there's different like opinions. I have my opinion. I think that, you know what, there should be mature themes for YA, because it's like, come on, like we're a lot smarter, of course. Like, you know what, this is another conversation for another time. I just want to continue going down because apparently I read 22 books this month. 22. So let's continue. So I gave The Cheerleaders 4 stars. The ending though, you guys, like I said, Jenny is that girl. I wish she was my girlfriend, but you know, whatever. So the other book that I read, oh wait, I'm sorry, I'm going down the list. So commercial suicide, already discussed that. Ugh. So the next book that I read was Invisible, the forgotten story of the black woman lawyer who took down New York's mobster, and it's by Stephen L. Carter, and this is about his mother. And I don't think I did a video. Actually, I didn't. So this is why I suggest that you guys follow me on my Instagram, because sometimes I react to certain stories I'm reading, and after I was done reading Invisible, which was actually on my TBR last year, I finally got to it. I must say I was heated, to say the least. There were certain things in this woman's life that got me pissed off. Not like, especially around the time, because, of course, this was around the Jim Crow era, and this was in New York and Harlem. I did learn a lot around that time period. I gave it, like, a 3-star because I felt like there were certain things that, like, for example, I thought this was going to be all centered around the mobster storyline, but it started from when she was younger and what her parents did, as well as after, you know, beforehand with the whole mobster thing, which is understandable because you need to know how to, like how she got to where she was with the whole taking down New York's infamous mobster at that point, as well as afterwards, like way afterwards, like. So I liked it. I felt like I wish that it was centered around that time, well, around that whole mobster sequence, but you know, I'm kind of glad that they didn't, because my God, there were just certain incidences with her boss. Like, she was like very hardworking. This the lawyer. Oh my goodness, I cannot believe I'm bringing out her name. Like I said, it's late at night. Technically, it is 1 o'clock in the goddamn morning. So whatever. So, like, I don't know. Maybe because I'm a Capricorn and hardworking and all that other stuff and job opportunities, but there were let me repeat myself, so many job opportunities that was given to this, like, that could have been given to this female, but it's like passed up to another white man. And for that time, obviously that was constant. Or if it wasn't given to a white man, it was given to another black person or black male for that matter. And it's like, and like her being cheated on, and the fact that she still helped her husband and stuff. you guys, after like her husband got sick with cancer and she still wanted to take care of him, it was like, child, I cannot. And like she even, well, from other accounts that she basically stayed in that marriage for their only son, and she does have a troubled relationship with the son because just like her parents, that she was always on the go and always sending the son away. So I feel like because of her upbringing, she didn't really know how to connect with her son. So that's why there's such a huge difference between them, and it's like and sometimes like I don't know, a huge rift between them, and that's probably why I will probably never have kids, because it's like, no, I'm too selfish for that. There was something else too. I'm so sorry. So her name was Eunice. Y'all, like I said, it's late at night, but her name is Eunice Carter. Like I said, there were so many things that like messed me up, and like her long life dream was to become a judge. She never got to do that, and I was so upset because there were so many, like she would have been so good as a judge, but again, that job went to white man, and so many important work that she did got all the credit taken away from her and given to other women. Oh my God, child. There were certain parts when I was listening to the other books, I was like, you know what, let me pause, let me gather my breath, because like, y'all really trying it with this woman. Leave Eunice alone. But you know what? She did the work. Okay, she did her deed. I could never with the whole husband part. I'm sorry. Like I know the whole thing for the kids, and like she was one of those black women who, she was very adamant about staying within a strong black family and all that stuff. And clearly she did all of that even when. And there was a part where we learned that she was in love with someone else, but like for the sake of her kids and stuff, she got married with the other dude. And the other dude that she was in love with married someone else a few months afterwards. It was like, my heart hurts. And oh my goodness, like she was one of those black females where it's all about the black family. It doesn't, like, I'm sure she was very bitter about the stuff, but it's like I can't. And she was definitely her and her mother was definitely all about the reputation of the family. So despite her husband being a goddamn cheater, she still stayed. I'm sorry if I feel a bit bitter, but moving on. So I also read So I also read "In a Kindness of Ghost" by River Solomon. I expected to like this all the way, and maybe because I was kind of distracted by other things, but I'd say I give this a 3.5. Like there were certain parts that I don't know, like the writing style, which I learned from The Deep, which is also another River Solomon book that I read from them. Both of these books by the same author, and of course The Deep is an anthology, so it's by other authors as well. It's so, like the writing style is so distant. It's like you are a scientist looking at a microscope with these characters. It's so, I don't know, it's like a cold barrier between you and the characters. And when I finally read In the Kindness of Ghost and The Deep, I didn't feel like, I know the huge themes of it, for most of them, but it was so cold and distant. And obviously the subject matters is like, damn, it's like, but it's like, I don't know. Like, of course there were moments in A Kindness of Ghost that had me going like, oh, hell no. Like, I'm telling you, like, In A Kindness of Ghost definitely is like a petri dish of our society, except for in space. My God, like you have cults, you have incest, you have colorism, you have, interracial, the troubles of interracial romance, you have like non-binary characters and all that. It's like, it's a lot, but I still gave The Deep and In A Kindness of Ghost 3 stars, to be honest. So I still look forward to reading from them, River Solomon, but I don't. But for now, it's like it was very cold and distant, to say the least. Very interesting story, and I understand why so many people like them so much, because there's a lot of huge, heavy hitter subject matters that some is more obvious than others, especially when you've gone through some of these experiences. Then yeah, it's very candid, to say the least. So that's all. Oh, I reread Benti by Nadidi Okofor. That is my reread for the month, as well as Benti Home, which I read half of it like last year, but I stopped. And I'd say, okay, so here's the thing. I'm trying to read all the Benti trilogies, and I'm noticing with my ratings that from the start of the series, like my ratings is going down. Like I think I gave Benti 4 stars last year, and it's still a 4-star. But the second one, Home, is a 2. Well, it's not a 2-star. It's very predictable, to say the least, and I think that's why I gave it like a 3-star. And now, because right now I'm currently reading the 3rd book in the trilogy in the Benti series, and yeah, I'm not feeling it, the series as a whole. Like I have a feeling that maybe like towards the end, because like I'm 2/3 into The Night Masquerade, which is the 3rd book, and I personally right now I'm feeling that it's going to be a 3-star as a whole for the series, and because like the 3rd book is giving me 2-star teas, to be honest. I'm sorry, but again, when it comes for the River Solomon writing style, it feels distant for this series. Even though I want to read other books by Nadidi Okofor, I like her writing and I like her storytelling, but I feel like Benti is not it for me. So those are 2 books from the series I'm reading. That I read. I'm currently reading the 3rd series now. Obviously, since I'm already on the final book, all I have to say is the first book is about Benti, who gets an opportunity to go to another school in space. She's the first one of her generation to go there, and her family doesn't approve because it goes against certain things in their culture that it's like a self-identity check or like exploration, because it's like you either stick with your culture or you do what you want to do. Obviously, she does what she wants to do because the ship gets attacked on the way to her new school, and she's the only survivor. And there's a lot of stuff. I will look for my review that on Goodreads because I made some connections to like Sarah Barton. And I feel like if you read the book, you will understand, because like the conflict between her and like the other aliens, and like what the aliens want is like it reminds me of a certain part in Black history. So yeah, here's the thing. Obviously, certain series aren't for everyone. I feel like when it comes to certain themes, like major, I don't know, things that reflect our life, you could like this, but I don't like it. So I'm gonna continue on. Let's see, Bound Woman. I forgot the one. Okay, so last graphic novel, Monstrous Volume 4, The Chosen, by Marjorie M. Liu. You guys, I've been waiting for this for a long time. I should have, to be honest with you, I feel like my rating will be higher again, probably this month, because I should have reread, the series. Obviously, as I was reading the fourth volume, that certain memories was coming back from like the previous volumes. So like her aunt is still a bitch, a still abusive bitch. Then we get to meet her father, which is cool and all, because I suspected that, there's something wrong with this man. And of course, something is wrong with that man. You'll read that as you read the volume, because I don't know, when it comes to graphic novels, especially when I'm already deep in them, I don't know how to like talk about them without spoiling it. So yeah, and like you guys, like the art in this is so goddamn beautiful, like really, and it's very woman centered. Now that I think about it, it's very woman centered. Like of course, like you do have male characters in there, but it's like the majority of them, like the main focal point are women, both the heroes, the anti-heroes, the anti-villains, and the villains, mostly women. So I like that. Okay, and yeah, and I still like the little god in that's inside of her. So yeah, like it's a huge story, but I highly recommend it. Like it's so very appealing. But yeah, I should have reread the whole series, but like at the time, I guess other people got the same idea, because when I tried to put it on hold, it's like, oh, long line. I was like, nope, no, thank you. So that was for of course, Monstrous Volume 4. The next one is Get a Life, Chloe Brown, and this is the first book of the Brown sisters by Tahilia Brown. You guys, this is okay, so I love this couple, Red and Chloe. Like Red is dealing with some of his trauma with a past abusive relationship, and Chloe's dealing with her not mental illness, my god, she's dealing with her own chronic illness. So it's like, I like how it's a present thing in her life, but doesn't really hold her down, it's just part of her, and so she basically has this long list of things that she needs to do for before, like it's her like little bucket list, because she's always that, like before she almost got killed, right? She was, I guess, really timid. She didn't go for the big things in life. So after, almost dying in a car accident, aka getting ran over, like this is like literally the first few pages, but she's like, you know what, I need to do something with my damn life. And I'm so excited to read on with the series, because each book follows with a new girl. I mean, not a new girl, but like the other sisters, because she has two other sisters, which, oh my goodness, her sisters, hilarious. Okay, so I'm so excited. I think the second book follows the youngest sister, who I forgot the name of, but she's the one with the like pink hair. But I'm so excited. I feel like she's gonna be the more funniest ones. And you guys, for such a cute cover, it's so goddamn filthy. Like red. Oh my goodness. See, I don't know. Mentally, I don't think Red is that attractive, but like the way that he talks to her is like. Speaking of another romance novel that I was reading, The Wedding Date, I gave this shit 2 stars. I'm so annoyed by the miscommunication in this goddamn book. Like, you guys are grown as people with professional ass jobs. Like, the main male interest, I forgot his name already. He's a doctor. Then the other woman, she works for the goddamn government. Okay, and I can't stand it. Now, here's the thing. I thought it was going to be centered towards the wedding date, but the wedding date is actually at the very beginning, and then afterwards it's like them flying back and forth between each other, which I don't know about you, but I don't know, maybe because I'm a goddamn prude. Actually, I'm not a damn prude, because I got some stories. But some of the things that they do makes no goddamn sense. And it's like, for someone who hasn't, like, you guys hadn't even had, the talk, like the, what are we talk? Like, you guys hadn't even had the talk, but you're already willing to do anything, well, almost anything for each other. You're ready to, like, fly over. And, like, there were certain racial things that wasn't, because it's an interracial couple, that wasn't, like, properly addressed. And it's like, or it was addressed, and then never again. It's like, this is kind of persistent. But, like, here's the thing. I'm going to continue on with the series, because I know that the next book, The Proposal, centers around Carlos, who's, like, the most clear-headed one. But if the next book follows Carlos, who, by the way, Carlos, he's the most, like he's, like, the male hero's best friend. He is by far the most logical one of the both of them, to be honest, which is why I'm more excited to read his book than these two. So yeah, I really hope that Carlos doesn't disappoint me, because in fact, I have a prediction that the second book might disappoint me with, like, the female character, because we already know based on this book that Carlos is the most level-headed, the most communicative person. Oh my goodness, like, he communicates so much, and like he knows like he's like very introspective about his feelings and other people's feelings. Is like, come on, stop. Like he held the other dude accountable for his actions and like his thoughts and shit. So I don't think the miscommunication part will come from Carlos, and if anything, it's probably gonna come from the female end for the second book. They better not disappoint me with Carlos, because Carlos is that guy. And yeah, I didn't like the couple in general. Like this one is okay, but I'm sorry. Like at first it was gonna be a 3-star, but that whole miscommunication shit, it was so annoying. Like almost every single damn time it's like, oh my god, I'm sorry. Like there was moments where I was about to be enough, to be honest. It's like, you know what, I ain't got no time for this. Thank God for the audiobook. But even then I was like, no, I can't stand y'all. I'm only here for Carlos. But anyway, so I can't wait to read to like the second one. They better not disappoint me with Carlos. So yeah, The Wedding Date, personally, I don't recommend it at all. But if you want to continue on with the series, I know like it seems like this is going to be a series where you, of course, where different characters that were mentioned in like the previous book will be like mentioned later on in other books and stuff, and probably get their own story. Like, you know, it's those types of romance. So maybe I have to like continue like reading on with the series in order to understand certain things. But it's like, ugh, this better not be a constant thing. Like I know, here's the thing, and the thing is, I don't mind the miscommunication trope. It's just that it was so overdone, so overdone. I can't believe I'm saying that about the miscommunication trope. Anyway, enough about The Wedding Date, because now I'm kind of getting angry about them. So the other book that I made sure to return to Kindle with a quickness is 0 Hour prequel, Order of the Dragon. I got this for $0, and I understand why. And this is gonna be sound so cruel, but it's like, my God, it was so goddamn inconsistent. It seems like, and here's the thing, the story is so damn interesting. Like at least the premise, like the summary of it is like, you follow this author, this romance author, go figure. And there's like 2 worlds with vampires, unicorn shifters, like. You got all this hoodoo magic, then you have gods and all this other stuff, and something evil is coming after our main character, who's black. So that was what like interested me. But the writing style, I expected the book to be longer, to be honest with you. So when I found out that it was like practically a novella, so like, and it's basically, and here's the thing, the way that the book ended though, felt like there was more to be, well actually there was more, and it's like you have to get the other book to continue reading on to see what happens. It's like, no, this was a shitty ass prequel, and if the writing was like that, like, let me try to explain as best as possible. The writing, it felt like there were certain parts missing from a sentence, to be honest. Like, it felt like there should be a sentence between these 2 sentences to connect them, and certain like plot holes and shit that didn't make any sense. And the thing is, I really wanted to like this, because not only does the premise sounds very interesting, it's like, but there were so many inconsistencies, especially since this takes place in New York. Like there was like this weird battle sequence between the werewolves and like vampires and shit, and it's like, so there's like, here's the thing, there's our world and there's their world, and there's like the secret order trying to protect the humans from our world, from their world, and it's fucking New York. You mean to tell me that while you guys are fighting, there ain't nobody in the metro station? Like, I'm from Brooklyn, so I know what's up, but like, there's nobody there. Not to mention, like, she got caught in the middle, right? And she fell onto the train rail, and there's a train coming by her, and of course she magically hears someone whispering over to her. It's like, hey, like call upon me and I'll help you. And I'm guessing that's the evil bitch, right? Who we don't even get that. Well, we know very little about, but I don't care to know. She calls, next thing you know, the train is derailed, and obviously there's certain, like, basically the train becomes damaged, and she gets saved, she gets pulled up. Obviously the distraction is scared the vampires away. Next thing you know, the werewolves and stuff is gone. And like I said, there's so many inconsistencies. Like, why did they stop fighting? Why did they run away? Why are the werewolves gone now? And then of course the main, who I thought was going to be the love interest, he barely was there. Besides to like try to remain distant from the main character, because that's what he was ordered to from Freya, from, you know, all those Norse mythology and shit. But it's like so weird, because he carries her back home because she got knocked out for some goddamn reason. Then she got her ghost her ghost grandmother says, who the fuck are you? And he briefly mentions that, you know, the wolves, they're back at the train station where they fought to clean up all the blood and shit. But it's like, what about the train? I'm guessing you have a magic spell for the train, but it's like, dude, there's a conductor there, and what if there's like people on the train? Obviously it's New York, so there's a lot of strange things that goes on at nighttime on the train station. That's why you don't really see that many people, at least, well, not as many back then on the train station, but they should be a healthy amount of people on the goddamn train station when it got derailed. So are those people dead? Where's the security cameras? Because I know they got security cameras up in there. I mean, sure, it's gonna be a little grainy and stuff, but it's like, what about, is there a magical spell to like wipe out like the memory card or something? Like, so many inconsistencies. And not to mention, here's the thing, it has so much promise at the very beginning, because the main character shows up at her father's talking about, I'm gonna bring my father back to life and shit. Oh my god. So, anyways, it was so freaking weird. She got shot by her, well, she almost got shot out by her step mother, and she got tackled by her brother. Is that her real brother or step brother? Like, what is going on? Like, and then it fast forward. I don't even know the timeline of when they fast forward to, because is it a few months? Is it a few months like afterwards? And like, the thing is, the ritual was supposed to like bring her father back so she can like have a one last moment with him, so that way he can, I don't know, get some peace in the afterlife or something. I don't know, child, but it started out with a bang, y'all. but then it's like drop the ball. It's like, so there's clearly conflict within the family, but y'all ain't gonna address it. Like, your stepmother almost shot at you. You ain't got nothing to child. Anyway, I can't stand it. You know what? As a matter of fact, I might as well drop it to a 1 star. No, unacceptable. Unacceptable. Anyway, it's a good thing for samples and stuff, and it's a good thing that it was $0, so I deleted that shit off my Kindle. Not on my watch. Not on my watch. Anyways, moving on to okay, the wedding day and all that other shit. Oh, A River of Royal Blood. So this is the first book of a series. And it's by Amanda Joy. This was a book that I wanted to read last year. So yeah, here's the thing. When it comes for these rival siblings for one throne, this is my first time reading it. I know that there was many others that did this beforehand. Did they do it better? I don't know, because I never cared about them until now because of A River of Royal Blood. I don't like the insta love in this one. There were certain things that was kind of predictable, but at the end of the day, I give it 4 stars. I hope that maybe in the next book we get to follow the older sister, because I really want to know what changed within the relationship, because there was at some point where, like, what was it, Freya? No, I don't know. The younger sister who has the blood magic and stuff, she went away, and when she came back, that's when her sister, well, not really, but her sister gave her the cold shoulder, and it's clearly obvious that the mother really favored the older sister. She's basically the black light-skinned Khaleesi with the silver hair and blue eyes and shit. But her powers are like what, light and persuasion, So it's a lot of crazy stuff going on. There was a huge major plot twist that I predicted ahead of time, and there were moments where I was hurting for like the main character. It's like, damn, I'm kind of hurt for y'all. And yeah, it was crazy towards the end. But yeah, I don't like the instant love in this one. Like, I like them, but is it bad that I kind of want a poly relationship between the main character in this, well, the younger sister with the blood magic, and her teacher who's eons older than her, and the prince? Like, that's so problematic. But like, it's like, to be honest with you, I would expect, like, with the things that was going on, I would expect her to be in a relationship with her like teacher, to be honest. Like, the instant love seemingly came out of nowhere to me. And it's like, what? Okay, like, I like you two together, but at the same time, what? Like, y'all couldn't wait until like the next book to develop y'all relationship, but okay, whatever. And like, hopefully there's, like, I know it's problematic with the whole threesome thing, but like, I don't know. I really expected it to be with the teacher, to be honest. They had more of a character development between them too, even though it was a teacher-student relationship. Well, they didn't, like, she has no like feelings for like her teacher, but at the same time, it's like, I thought it was gonna go there, to be honest. But you went for the other guy. Okay, I'm not questioning nothing. So the next one I did was Millionaire Wives Club. So I started this last year, but I finally finished it this month. You guys, I have to do a separate review for this because with spoilers, because the ratchetry is so delicious. And the same goes for Basketball Jones by Elin Harris. Now, here's the thing: the Millionaire Wives Club is the first book of a series, and I think I'm gonna save like it for like a separate video because I have to spoil it for you guys. I want to talk about the shit that happens in this book. My God. And the same goes for Basketball Jones. In fact, if you go to my Instagram, you guys can look at my Instagram stories because I've created a highlight for them for Basketball Jones. But if you want, I'll just create a dedicated video for Basketball Jones discussing it because, again, hot ass mess. Even though Basketball Jones, I gave it like a 3.5 stars because towards the end it was predictable. Like, I already knew like who was gonna blackmail them. But here's the thing: A Millionaire's Wives Club is more so about 4 women. They're on this reality TV show, X type of deal, and it's hilarious how they take it. Like, obviously, I thought it was gonna follow them through the reality TV show. I wasn't expecting to see what is going on inside their heads, but I'm glad that we got that because, honey, we got some hot mess. And Basketball Jones is about this trade who is a basketball player named Dre Jones, hence Basketball Jones, and his boyfriend AJ, who they've been dating since college. Jones ends up in the NBA, has a whole entire ass wife to hide his, bisexual feelings. And, in the whole time, him and AJ are together. Anyway, someone finds out and is blackmailing them. It's the standard story. But obviously, I was kind of disappointed in the end, but also satisfied with it because it's what I expected of the outcome. And I was happy because I got what I wanted for AJ. But, at the same time, it's like, I don't know, they could have done so much more, but, sadly, this is a standalone, so it's not like I'll see more of what happens to AJ afterwards, but oh well. If you want hot mess, those 2 are the ones for you. But I will definitely be doing 2 separate videos for them too because I want to spoil everything. I already spoiled Basketball Jones on my Instagram stories highlights, so go check that out. But Millionaire Wives Club, bitch, we have to talk. And I'm going to talk about it as if it's a reality TV show because it's a series, so why not? What other books did I read? Okay, so I finally read A Song for You by My Life with Whitney Houston by Robin Crawford. I love this nonfiction book so goddamn much. I've been waiting for months not months, but ever since it came out, I put it on hold and I finally got it and I'm so happy that I read it. Like, obviously it's about Robin Crawford and her life with Whitney Houston. I'm so glad that she came out with her story, to be honest, because man, like with all the movie adaptation and other interviews and stuff, like I know that when it was announced that Robin was doing this book, there was a lot of pushback. It was like, leave Whitney alone, leave Whitney alone. It's like, huh. Now here's the thing. I know that people have been telling other people, including Whitney's family, to leave Whitney alone, especially with that whole hologram mess. Child. Anyway, and there's a lot of weird shady stuff with like the Houston family, especially after Whitney and her daughter's death. There's a lot of weird shady stuff that makes me like really worried. Like it's like, ugh. But one thing's for damn sure is that, of course, like maybe Bobby Brown didn't introduce Whitney to drugs, but he sure as hell made it a whole lot worse. And I really love learning about Robin as well, because I thought it was going to be centered around Whitney only, but we get to learn more about Robin, and I'm so glad too, because like man, like especially like her relationship with her abusive father, and like her brother who was gay as well. And it's like when her brother was dying of HIV, actually she lost both of her brother and her mother to HIV/AIDS, and which was so sad because they lost her brother first, and her mother was like, it should have been me, because like it was so heartbreaking, y'all, when she was going through that, and like the emotions and stuff, and how she yeah, it was crazy. And I think what made me angry was like when of course there was some things that made me laugh, that made me cry. Like the things that made me laugh was like the stuff about Whitney when they were young and in college. Yo, Whitney's hilarious, and so is Robin. But like when her Robin's father didn't came to his own son's funeral hella late. I had to like pause my book and like kind of cry a little bit, because like wow, because like Robin explains that her brother wanted to have a talk with the father, and clearly it didn't go well at all. And mind you, he was already like dying of HIV. He was getting like AIDS, because at the time it was during the outbreak, and clearly it went completely wrong, and my heart was like kind of breaking. I'm sorry, it was so rough. And it's like damn. And I'm glad that Robin managed to find some happiness with her new wife and her adopted kids, and she explained how things around Whitney was getting toxic. And of course we know the story, but like especially as more and more shit is coming out about Whitney, and it's like wow. I'm glad that Robin got herself out of it, because she explains that she was using drugs too, and how she had to fight her demons, and have to like stop with her drug addiction, and like she finally got out, and it's like she's trying to help Whitney, but it's like at the same time it's like bringing her down and shit. And it's like I'm glad that she finally got to tell her story. So my god, wow, that was hella emotional for no goddamn reason. I highly suggest that you read that book, and also the audiobook is read by Robin. So of course you know me, I love audiobooks that are read by the author. So read that. And I think that was it. I'm really surprised that was really it. I have a lot more books that I've actually read. Well, actually, I'm currently reading. Some of them are definitely gonna have to be put on hold. And yeah, that's it. I think that's it. Yeah. Anyway, I don't know why I started crying at the end. Well, it was an emotional thing, but you guys have fun. I hope you guys had a joyful reading month, instead of crying as much as I did over some of these books. But yeah, thanks again, Justin, the ghost reader. So I'm definitely gonna have to like speed this up. So goodbye. I have a lot more videos coming up soon. I have some videos that I put on private, and until I'm done like with the description, then I'll like post it up. But bye.